I watched the guy beside me roll his eyes at his girlfriend, saying, I want to break up. I couldn't believe he'd break up with her in a cafe full of people. The girl looked at him, fighting back tears. Why? I did everything you asked me to, she asked, trembling. That's the problem, he sighed. You're too much of a good girl. No guy would ever be interested in that. That's when she wrapped her arm around mine and pulled me towards her. Well, you're wrong. My new boyfriend likes me this way, she lied, glancing at me nervously with a pleading expression. I knew exactly where this was going, and to humiliate a bad guy? Why not? I smiled and got up, twirling her around into my arms. It's time for you to go, buddy, I told him. The guy's face went red, looking back to call her lame just before he walked out. We both stood there in silence for a moment. Well, I'm glad that worked out for you, I smiled, closing my laptop to leave. The girl, Marinette, shook her head and yelled, Wait, 2 weeks, please play along. I want him to get jealous. I'll even pay you. She rummaged through her bag and pulled out a crumpled $20 bill. I laughed and agreed. It was just 2 weeks, right? Marinette and I exchanged numbers, and in the morning, she sent me a detailed game plan on how to make her ex come crawling back. We needed to be seen together at all the places her ex loved. Gym, bar, even the coffee shop where he'd broken up with her. And we have to make it believable, she reminded me. That was easy for me. But for her, she struggled through our first official fake date, awkwardly spouting romantic lines out loud from the ACOTAR books that she loved so much. Every piece of my heart belongs to you, she quoted loudly, hoping her ex would hear. I burst out laughing. That's cute and all, but that's not going to make him jealous, I told her, before sliding my arms over her shoulders and pulling her close. First thing you gotta do is post romantic pics together, put a cute caption like new beginnings. Her face lit up at my idea. She pulled out her phone and officially soft-launched our relationship. Sure enough, her ex commented with angry emojis. Marinette grinned, pointing her phone towards me. Look, it's working, she squealed excitedly. The next few dates went by more smoothly. She dropped the forced book lines and started talking to me like an actual date. But by the second week, something changed. Marinette started texting me outside of our scheduled meetups. She started calling me late into the night, chatting about random memes. She showed up to places where her ex never would have gone, just because she thought I'd like it. And honestly, I started getting scared and protective. I started thinking, what if we just continued dating like this forever? And I wasn't the only one who felt that way. A few days ago, Marinette invited me to the park and said something that made my heart race and chest tighten at the same time. I stopped thinking about my ex and started thinking about you. I was just a boring good girl that no one wanted, but you made me feel like I was someone special, she said, her ears turning bright pink. I wanted to tell her so badly that I felt the same way, but just before I could, her ex-boyfriend walked over with flowers. Marinette, I was wrong about everything, he said, launching into a speech about how he finally saw her clearly and wanted another chance. Marinette opened her mouth to speak, but I couldn't bear it. I pulled her to the side and looked her straight in the eyes. Marinette, this entire thing between us was meant to be just pretend, but it stopped feeling that way for me since our first date. Please, I begged her, don't say yes to him. She looked at me like I'd physically hurt her. I wanted him so badly. This entire thing, our dates, it was all just to get him back and make him jealous. But now I don't know. Marinette stood between us with tears streaming down her face. She looked at me and saw 2 weeks of real connection. She looked at him and remembered just how desperate she felt, trying to win him back. Please, Marinette, I love you, his ex announced in a soft voice that twisted my stomach into knots. I pressed my lips together and made the decision for her. I patted her shoulder, placed a kiss on her cheek, and walked off. Wait, she called out with a determined look on her face. Full story on channel linked below.